Well, I've been away since Friday or Saturday. Got back yesterday. Was a good few days away, see the family. Went and had a few meals, had a few beers. It was relaxing. Now I'm back on YouTube. So, if you're ready, what it's like being on basic. What it was like being on basic for me. Only ever talking about my experience. First of all, like basic, standard, enhanced. Yeah, those are the levels that you're on in prison. Yeah, you all go to prison and you start on standard. You know, you get no special privileges, but you're getting nothing taken away either. You're getting what, you know, the standard, the TV, basic pay, and all the rest of it. If you behave and you do all the things the screws want, basically, you can get put on enhanced. Yeah, you'll have more money. You will have more items on, like, to buy. Let's say you can buy like a better stereo or a computer, PS2 or whatever they have. And if you're on basic, basically you're allowed £2.50 a week. You're not allowed. You're allowed out. You're not entitled to association or things. You get allocated time throughout the week that you're allowed to have your phone call, your shower, and things like that. But there is a thing you could get put. That's if you get in trouble. That could be the consequence. But also, you say if you get in trouble when you're on standard, you could just get put on losses for like a week. It doesn't mean you're going to get you're dropping down from standard to basic. You're just on losses for a week. So they could say you've lost your association for a week and that's it. But you're still on standard and you still get your normal pay. Or they could say you're on 7 days loss of earnings. You know, basically you don't get paid for a week, but you're not on basic. So I do apologise if I get my basics and my losses mixed up in this video, but I can't remember all the basic and the losses, like the differences anyway, of all the times I was on losses and all the other times that I was on basic. They're both, you know. Some of the reasons I went on basic / losses, I can't remember the difference. Failed drug tests, whether they be MDTs, mandatory drug tests. They say mandatory. They're usually under suspicion. They're not going to tell you you're under suspicion, are you? They're not going to crack your door and go, "Oh, you've got a drug test because we suspect you're doing something." They're not going to tell you they're onto you, are they? So they call it an MDT, and they do come up mandatories. You know, it's on a cycle. Your name pops up, or whatever. But you could be in jail years and not have one. Luck of the draw and suspicion in it, whether the screws like you, whether they don't like you. VDTs as well. You've got the MDTs, mandatories, or suspicion, and the VDTs would be voluntary. Why would anyone sign up to voluntary? I have. Voluntary, you got to sign up to voluntary drug tests when you was on the super enhanced wing in Stockton. There's ways around that. I mean, you can. Before I found out the vinegar trick, this was before I even knew about the vinegar trick. I spoke about that in a previous video. If you drink vinegar 24 hours before you have a drug test, and with a VDT, you'd know. Voluntary. Drink a little bit. Get a tiny little bit in a 1 litre bottle. About that much vinegar. Fill it up with water. Knock it back throughout the day. It's not as horrible as what you think. It's not nice, but it's not like drinking straight vinegar. Yeah, it's like soury water. Sip it off throughout the day. It looks like you can walk around the wing with it. It looks like it's apple juice. That's how I found out about it. I asked the geezer one day, "What's your fascination with apple juice, mate?" And he told me what he was doing. Just drink it every day. That's what I ended up doing. Can't be good for you. But yeah. If you obviously this was pre-vinegar, so people used to walk about with on the enhanced wing, because you know you're going to get hit for a voluntary, like once a month or whatever it was. People used to walk around with like the finger of a glove cut off. Someone else would piss in it. Say I take drugs. That geezer over there don't piss in that, mate. He would do it for me. Then I'd walk about a bit tired, ballsed off between, like, down there all day long, whether it's tied to something or whatever, or just down your boxes, whatever. I've done that once. I'd done that once, and I would never do it again. Like I walked into the drug testing bit. There's 2 screws in there, 2 officers. Um, give you the vial that you got to piss into, and you go into the toilet. You can't shut the door. He'll use one of them. Usually be standing behind you watching. Yeah. So you got to be quick, innit? You know what I mean? First time I'd ever done it, used a glove. So got a little. Actually, no. I was about to tell a lie. Then I had a pin. Another time that I did it. I've done this twice, and I would never do it again. Both times ended up messy. I thought I learnt my lesson the first time and thought I'd use a pin, but anyway. Split it. I'm there over the toilet. Got the cup in one hand, and I've just split the glove with my finger. The piss has gone all over me. Like the other geezer's piss. I wouldn't care about my own. Went all over me, all over my hands. I passed the drug test, you know what I mean? But second time I did it with a pin. Still went all over me. I'll never do it again after that. I ended up getting hold of a medicine bottle. You know what I'm talking about, with the childproof lids. I used to get someone to piss in that to me basically every day, every morning. Used to fill it up and I used to walk about with that. Not every morning, like when the VDTs were coming round, pissing that to me, pissing that. Or if you ever got called for one, they might sometimes you'd misjudge the day, you know what I mean? And you know they'd say, "Oh, VDT today, you're 2 days early." You have to run off and try and style it out. But getting off the point, I'm meant to be talking about basic, ain't I? What other reasons did I get put on basic for? Hooch. Exploding hooch everywhere, all around my cell. It's hard to argue, innit, when your cell stinks like a brewery, that you ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing, I swear. Unauthorized items in my cell. That could be, you know, things you use for a phone charger, you know, wire and things like that. I was murdered for getting wiring, for like finding wire. If I see wire in jail, I'll take it, because you never know when you're going to need it for. And I don't just mean phone chargers and things like that. I mean bloody aerial for your stereo, or you know, making an extension lead so your telly's not so you can't move your telly or your kettle or something, you know. But yeah, unauthorized items. That could be things that have been nicked out of other cells as well and put in your cell. Items not on your prop, not on my prop card, I should say. Again, it's usually a stolen item or something like that. Instance, Aylesbury, I had a PlayStation 2. Someone come into my cell and robbed the memory card. We was all pad thieves in Aylesbury. I literally paid someone to go and rob someone else's memory card out of their cell. Not the geezer that did it. I didn't even know who did it. Some geezer that I know will never come back off. You know what I mean? Bully tactics, innit? I got caught with that in my cell. The geezer that nicked it, took the bird, nicked it, then grasped me up for tobacco. I took the tobacco as payment, and then went and grasped me up for what he did to get out of it. So he took the tobacco, got the I had to give the memory card back, and I'm not moaning I was out of order, was I? But I'm just saying what happened. Being high, been put on losses or basic for being high. When I went to work, I was the librarian in Bedford, and the bird in there was a jobs anyway. She really was moody. Trying to justify, I went off there off my nut, spiced out of my head. And the thing about spice as well, yeah, I mean, it don't take a lot to make me look like I'm about to fall over, yeah. So you go, I mean, you have a bit of a spice joint, my eyes are red, like blood red. They're like that. You can't really even see that they're fucking open. Your face would be white, bordering like it's looking green. Hello, miss. All swaying like, are you off your nut? No. It's in books, I put them away, you silly old cunt. Oh, sorry. Yeah, bitch sacked me for being off my nut. Fighting, getting twisted up, arguing with the screws, refusing ship out. You know, they come to you in the morning and say, "Oh, you're going to another jail now." You go, mate, all right, no, I ain't. And then the arguments start, and then the little standoff start for the next couple of hours. Them coming to your cell, telling you go in, you telling them you've got a razor blade up your arse, down your throat, in your nose, behind your eyelids. You know, all that nonsense. And then eventually you get your own way. But sometimes you might have to go on losses or basic. Refusing to go to court, same thing. You got to go to court today? No, I'm not in court today. No, it says on the list. Right then, well, I've got a razor blade up my bum. Stealing mugs, stealing like coffee mugs off the screws. I was murdered for that, because you get them blue cups, don't you, in jail? Them shitty little blue plastic cups. You can buy a China mug on the thing, but like a plain white one. I was murder, man. If I was working somewhere, if I was anywhere and I see a Screws mug, it was mine. I was taking it, because it would an exclusive item, we used to call it. You know what I mean? An item you can't buy on the canteen sheet. An exclusive item. Silly little officer's mug. You get caught with, oh, that's my mug in there. Then when they're doing bolts and bars, come around to check bolts and bars, making sure you ain't cutting out your cell in the morning. Oi. Sorry, I am a burglar. Yeah, I'm sure there's other reasons why I've been put on basic or losses or whatever, but those are the main reasons. Obviously, like being on it. Do you know what? It's fine being on basic. Actually basic, not losses now, basic. No TV, not coming out. So the money things are about like shit, 250, but you ain't got to be on basic to have 250 on your canteen sheet, Jesus. Yeah, but time flies without a TV. Well, that telly's like a clock, isn't it? That telly in your cell's like a clock. I can tell the time just by what I'm watching. If it, just for instance, from 9 p.m. onwards, everyone will know what I'm talking about. It's ever been banged up. You know what the time is just by what film's on film 4. You got the 9 o'clock film, and there'll be 3 films on, and then film 4 ends. Do you know what the time is? So that's you constantly remind yourself your time every 2 minutes. You know what the time is. Time drags when you know what the time is. Plus TV's depressing as well. TV brings you down, really, yeah. So that makes time slow. It's the only time I ever didn't mind having a cellmate. I hated having cellmates, and I eventually got high risk, moved, got rid of the cellmate, wasn't allowed a cellmate. But for a lot of me, bird, I like to have a cellmate. And that was the only time I never minded having one, because it was a laugh. Then you'd actually talk and bond and tell jokes and stories. You'd just be sitting there mindlessly looking at the TV. Do you want a coffee? Excuse me on that. You're actually talking and discussing things and having a laugh and doing what humans should do. Playing, you end up, you play cards, you read. The cell's spotless if you're on basic. Still spotless, mate. Scrubbing that toilet with a toothbrush in the sink. Spotless. What else are you going to do? Exercise. I wasn't doing too much of that when I was 20 stone, fat blob. Then you start playing. I start playing silly things. The cards are going to slapsies. Don't flinch. Or knuckles, the same thing. Or knuckles with the cards. Get a deck of cards, and if you flinch, you get a free shot. Start doing forfeits, then you start having a laugh with it. I've sat in the cell with my co-D. I've told a story before about my worst cellmate, and that was my co-D, my best mate. I hated being banged up with him. Hated it. We'd spend weeks not talking to each other. But we'd end up playing cards or slapsies or knuckles, and he was a right flincher. He used to smash me on cards, but he was just a flinch. Oh, I can't get my hand slaps. Proper flincher. But we'd end up having a laugh and doing forfeits and silly things. I know this is all muggy, and but we'd end up sniffing lines of salt as a forfeit or something, right, to nearly 30-year-old geezers. Oh, look, I lost on gin rummy. Oh, look, I lost on poker or blackjack. Oh, I lost on slapsies, don't flinch. When you're on basic, you're still a TV as well, don't you? Even though I'm saying it's better without a TV, and it is better without a TV. But I start to scheme to get hold of one, because it's fun, isn't it? So when you do manage to get out of your cell, because you're not kept in a cage for 24 hours a day. They have to let you out eventually. They'll let you out for a shower, have a quick shower, and then you can just mooch around the wing. You know what I mean? Or not have a shower, have a wash in your cell, then you can mooch around the wing. Have a phone call, don't have a phone call, just go and mooch around the wing. You know, you might find an idiot screw that, and they are idiots, the ones that fall for that. Oh, Gov, you find an empty cell, and you go, can I get you open this cell? I need to get in there. It's my cell. All right, go in there and just take the TV. It's usually you can do that to the new screws. Get a new screw that's only just started, don't have a clue what he's doing. Gov, can you just open this cell for me? Just so I can get in, because they're too scared to say anything as well. They'll just take the abuse. And they'll open the door, you can literally walk in, unplug the TV in front of him, he'll be standing there like, are you allowed to do that? Oh yeah, carry on walking, ignore him. Or the older paying someone something for their telly. It's usually someone with a drug problem or something, or someone with a problem up there that he's fully taken advantage of. You know, I've said it before, I was a scumbag. You know, I'll give you one cigarette if I can have your TV for a week. Just tell the screw someone nicks it, they'll go and get you another one straight away. How many times do people fall for that? They end up giving you the TV as well. And they can't grass you up for having it, because they'll be snitching. Then the screw will go, well, there ain't no TVs on the wing, you got to wait. Once you've got the TV in your cell, you've got to hide it. I usually used to just hide it in like my washing bag. You know, net bags and all that, just fill it up with dirty washing and just smother it with the TV, like put the TV in the bag, then just smother it with washing. Shove it in the like wardrobe, little mini wardrobe thing you have. When the screws come and check in the morning, bolts and bars, they ain't usually checking your dirty washing. Get it out at night or get it out at lunch or whatever. Obviously, if it gets found, what are they going to do anyway? You know, 9 times out of 10 they don't even care anyway. You know, what do they care for? You've got a TV, I'm going to write you up again, or whatever. Some of them take it personal, so a lot of them don't. If you get it taken, you might get put on a bit more longer basic, or just if the screw don't like you. Then it's all over, and then you get your TV back, you're allowed out your cell again, and life goes back to normal. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe, and we'll chat later on. Adios.